Aloha, friends and neighbors. Welcome. Thanks for tuning me in. This show is about astrology, what's up above, what's down here with us. It's a mirror, isn't it? No causation implied. I'm Rollin Kona astrologer, and I got a couple things to talk about today. First, I had good response from you folks about your solar returns. So remember, it's free. Just call me up with your birth date, birth time, birthplace, and where you're going to have your birthday, and I can run it through the computer and calculate exactly when your solar return starts, the 24 hours that you need to manage so that you have a good time for the day, you have a good time for the year. And while I was doing that for folks, I came upon one 71-year-old lady who's just had her birthday a couple days ago, I guess. Anyway, she had some trepidation about becoming 72. And it turns out when she was in her mid-20s years ago, she went to see an astrologer. She told me the astrologer gave her some advice about marriage or not or something, and then told her that when she was 71, she was going to have a stroke, and it would be all over then, the stroke at age 71. So she was worried about, the last few days before she got to 72. I asked her about this astrologer more and said, gee, you should have just reached across the table and poked him in the nose for telling you that, because she admitted that she'd been living in fear for, 40 years. Over that stupid idiot's pronouncement. And I got something to say. One, to try to predict death in somebody's chart is a very difficult thing. A lot of people don't even feel their death. You cannot see it like that. You can't do it. Okay? I'm a really good astrologer, and I've studied all my life. And for me to do that, I'd have to get all your family members' charts and get a time bracket down, and it's not an easy thing to do. And this guy could not have done it. So he was feeding that lady some bad information. Bad witchcraft, I call it. I pronounce that you'll be dead at age 60. That's 30 years from now or something. Oh, man. Poke him in the nose. He's a phony. And she said, well, I did question it a little bit. He was really old, and he kept nodding off while he was giving me my reading. Folks, you don't want readings. Readings are done mostly by telepathic stuff. You don't want, a good astrologer doesn't need to know you, see you. Double blind is best. I have a lot of people just send me a birth date and time and place, and they're buying a chart for somebody I don't know, and I don't want to know, because I do a technical thing, I don't need telepathy. That's what most readings are: card readings, psychic readings, crystal ball readings. And a lot of phony astrologers can barely read a chart, but they're pretty telepathic, and they'll pick up some things that might amaze you a little bit about what you're thinking or want or what happened already. Just telepathy. It's not real. It's just about the past. And anyway, phony astrologers, that's my first message to you today. I know there's some Vedic astrologers that used to come around to Honolulu every now and then, and go to Waikiki and charge people a lot of money. And these guys are all dressed up and supposedly were famous astrologers in India. And yet, I had people come to me and said, well, the guy told me that I was going to die in 7 years. And jeez. So I worked the chart for the lady, and sure enough, she's going to lose her house and maybe her job in 7 years, but she wasn't going to die. And that's what happened. So I had to undo the work of some more horrible black magic people doing nasty stuff. You're going to die at a certain time. No. No. Anybody purports to do that for you, they're a phony astrologer, and there's as many phony astrologers and people who just know a little bit and call themselves astrologers as there are other phonies like doctors and priests and Neptune folks. Brings me to my second subject. Remember I told you there were sneaky Neptune things going on behind the scenes, and what they're going to do is get rid of Uranus. That's me, an astrologer, and the show that I put on. And what happened was when Saturn, well, just yesterday, a fella called me up from Olelo and said, gee, you cannot mail your show in anymore. Somebody has to bring it in. Your presenter has to bring it to our office and put it on the counter. What? Yes, that's what this young guy's telling me. Is Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn snuck up on me and they're trying to get rid of me again. Well, Olelo has had a lot of trouble with religious programming, a lot of trouble with programming in general. Too many people, too much money. So what's this guy's motivation? Trying to get me off TV. And that's the second thing. Is that you folks on Oahu start getting used to using the internet. If you go to frak.com/astro, ASTRO, that's a website a guy maintains for me. The last 4 shows are on there. And the beauty of the internet is that you can watch the shows anytime. You know, if Olelo is successful at getting rid of the astrology show, and I don't know what will happen yet, I have to find somebody to go drop it off at their office. I mean, think about this a little bit. I send shows by mail to Kauai. Hoiki is happy to take them. I send them by mail to Akaku. Maui people are happy. Naleo, here on the Big Island, they're happy. I don't have to walk in and put it on their desk. But on the Honolulu public access station, they have this strange requirement that locks a lot of people out. Now, I have been sending them shows through the mail for what, 15 years? And suddenly now, oh, you can't do that. Well, the guy knows I'm on the Big Island, you know, so he's really throwing a monkey wrench in here. And I tell you, these folks at Olelo that have programmed you Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all religious shows, you got to understand who's in charge of that public access station isn't really serving the public. So I'm going to write letters. I'm going to contest this guy's new rule, as it were. And so you may wind up with difficulties getting the show on Honolulu, on Oahu. If you do, frak.com/astro will get you the internet. There's a fellow putting the shows on YouTube also. So you might try just YouTube my name, Rollin, Rollin, Frost, Frost, or YouTube the Sky Mirror. The guy that's doing the app, where he's talking about putting the Sky Mirror on the app. So if you have that app for your smartphone, the Sky Mirror Astrology app, go to the App Store and look for Sky Mirror Astrology. Get it for $5, and he's going to find a way to put the Sky Mirror on every week on that app, so you get it on your phone. Anyway, there are alternatives. Frak.com/astro, YouTube, maybe the app soon. You're not stuck with Olelo's. You know, if they're successful at getting rid of the show, I want you on Oahu to have alternatives, so you're not locked out. Okay, so next couple weeks will tell the tale. I'll write letters. We'll see if we can get this guy's thing reversed. Consider that, you know, I send them the show regular. Only time there's a problem is when they lose it. The mailman brings it in and puts it on their desk. And now this guy wants me to find a separate person, a presenter, that will run the show into their office. So I got to mail it to the presenter. The presenter has got to travel to their office and put it on their counter. Adding more cars to the road, more pollution to the air, more energy consumed, more CO2 to global warming. These people don't give a hoot about the trouble it makes for other people, or how dependable this link now I have extra people and extra time between me and the guy who puts the DVD on at El Lilo. And they're doing that on purpose, with no common sense to it at all. You know, considering I've been sending them shows in the mail for 15 years, and I send it to all the other stations, no problem. Suddenly they have a problem with it. When I talked to the guy, I said, well, why don't you just continue the exception? What's it? Oh no, he said, if we let you mail the show in, we'll have to let everybody mail their shows in, and it'll just be chaos. He says something about 100,000 hours of programming. And a lot of lies got told to me yesterday that didn't make sense, and I'm not happy with it. But I want you folks on Oahu to start looking at the show on the internet, because I don't know what's going to happen down there. Maybe I should make the show, change the title to a nice religious show. Jesus wants you to learn astrology. And maybe they'll play it down there. I don't know. Anyway, let's go do the sky mirror first and see what's going on in the world. Mr. Snowden is still free and getting along fine. More power to him. You notice they changed the word in the media. Mr. Edward Snowden, one of my great heroes, is now an NSA leaker. He's a leaker. He's not a whistleblower. Oh no, we got laws protecting whistleblowers, remember? So he's not a whistleblower, is he? He's an NSA, National Security Agent, leaker. Change the name, huh? Fishy stuff going on. Neptune, Jupiter, and Saturn in cahoots, trying to get away with sneaky stuff. With Mr. Snowden, with me. I'm sure it's in your life too. Somebody smiling comes along, you know, and says, here, take this drug, buy this stuff, give me money. Give me privilege, and off the environmentalist, off the independent, off the Uranus characters. We don't want them around, no. So Neptune's taking advantage. It's everywhere. I think at least Mr. Snowden is safe. Come on, let's go do the sky mirror. We're going to cover the last few days in July, the first few days in August for you, so you get a handle on what's coming up. Come on. Okay, here's a reminder. The website I've used for years, frak.com/astro, and you can get Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World, there at that website. In fact, the last 4 shows are posted there, so you could catch up, or you could go back and check up on your TV astrologer and see how my predictions go. YouTube. There's a guy putting the show on YouTube. I'm not sure what kinds of addresses you might use. Probably my name, Rollin, R-O-L-L-I-N, Frost, F-R-O-S-T. Perhaps Sky Mirror Astrology might work. Sky Mirror. Astrology, Ancient Science. Yeah, try and find the best label for the YouTube. But the shows are there. Probably a lot more of them than just the last 4.